Life is too short to figure out everything on your own. This was a phrase I read in Jordan Peterson's book, 12 Rules for Life. And for me, this phrase captures why it's so important to learn to listen. And for me, there's four phrases from Jordan Peterson's book, 12 Rules for Life, that really highlight the importance of learning, not just to learn from your own experiences, your own accidents and failures, your own schooling, but to be able to learn from the experiences of others. And this idea, life is too short to learn everything from your own experience. There's a saying that Aristotle is the last man alive that knew everything, all the knowledge that was available to learn. Since Aristotle, there's too much knowledge from our culture for any one single individual to know it all, and there's too much for any single individual to figure it out from first principles. And I think the four phrases that for me from Jordan Peterson's book really capture this importance and a mindset of truly listening to other people. I'd like to read for them. The first is, your current knowledge has neither made you perfect nor safe. You know, where you are right now, who you are right now, what you have in your life, the relationships in your life, the degree to which you feel successful is due to your current knowledge. If you can look me in the eye and tell me that your life is perfect, you have achieved everything that you want, and you are absolutely happy with where you are and who's around you, then your current knowledge is okay. But if there's anything missing, then your current knowledge is not okay. And it's not school learning that you need, but it's the ability to listen to others, to learn the knowledge of how to live. The second is a mindset thing. Assume the person you are speaking to knows something valuable. Or, in the words of Jordan Peterson, assume that the person you are listening to might know something you don't. And in my own life, this probably took 33 years of life before I accepted that I didn't need to know everything, figure out everything myself, that everyone around me has had a different background, different set of experiences, and wherever they are, whatever they've achieved, there's something that they know that I don't yet know. And everyone has a perspective that can give me something more. And I find it very difficult to switch off the judgmental piece of my mind that decides that some people can give me useful information and some people just aren't. And telling myself everyone has something that I can learn from. And every conversation I'm in, no matter how hard it is to stay connected, how self-centered the other person seems, no matter how much of a mess they've made of their own life, if I can truly believe that they have some new perspective for me and engage in conversation in that way, then I'm truly going to listen. Another idea from Jordan Peterson in his life as a psychotherapist, he says, it takes a conversation to organize a mind. It's through conversation that we put order into our mind. We learn who we are. We put a structure in our thinking. And if you take conversation away from us, if you take conversation away from a human being, it's very difficult to organize your mind, to get clear who you are. And sometimes for me, even just speaking to another person without them responding, the fact that they're listening helps me put structure and order in my thoughts. Sometimes I find that my YouTube videos give this impact for me, that sometimes before I start making one of these videos, I have an idea. But as I put it into words, as I share it with you, there's a greater degree of clarity comes through the process of explaining. And it matters that there are conscious human beings at the other end of this camera listening, because that makes my mind put structure and order to itself. So if you take conversations, if you are unable to listen, you have taken away a tool that Jordan Peterson says is vital for putting order, putting structure into a mind. We put structure in our mind through conversation. And a conversation isn't me talking. It's me talking, asking a question, and truly listening and working to really understand your answer, not from my perspective, not for what it means for me, but looking at it from your perspective, what it means for you. And the fourth thing that I wrote down from Jordan Peterson's book, just about conversations, life is too short. Life is short and you don't have time to figure out everything on your own. And when I was young, I really valued knowledge that I gained myself over secondhand knowledge. As I've grown and now leading Vistage in Spain, I think it's a stupid distinction. It doesn't matter how you learn something as long as it's an effective way of making sense of the universe. And life is too short to make all the mistakes yourself. But if I am to learn from others, I need to switch off my judgment and really be able to listen. Ask questions that get them to share what they're seeing and listen. And for me, very often, as I'm hearing someone else speak, my mind is rushing ahead, filling in the gaps, putting my own experience. That's not listening. I'm not engaged in a mindset that truly understands and believes that the other has something to offer me. So this idea, life is too short to figure out everything on your own. It's also too hard a life to approach it in that way. I think some of the great philosophers, Nietzsche was a loner. And he worked hard to figure out a lot of stuff by himself, but he ultimately died of the stress. And I think we don't need to make life this hard. The willingness to allow others to teach us, the humility to truly accept it. It's okay to take knowledge and perspective and wisdom and answers from other people and change your mind. And that complete knowledge is not the knowledge of how to solve problems, but how to live well. And if you're living well, then that's the best expression that the knowledge you have is good. So I hope this small video on conversation, on the importance of dialogue, the importance of being able to listen, and listening being key to massively accelerating your learning so that you don't just depend on screwing up your own life in order to learn lessons, that you can learn from the billions of other people that have already lived. And this week I shared the list of all the books that I read in 2020. Many of them are biographies. And I think biographies are such a wonderful way of learning how to live life. Because a biography of someone else is how they lived life, how they approached life. And you've got the whole story. I just finished the biography of George Washington. And he had to live 75 years. I managed in a space of a week and a half to experience the whole of the 75 years of George Washington's life. What an accelerant of learning about what drove him, what decisions were important to him, what meaning things had for him as he lived his life, what it meant for him to step up into public service, what regrets he had through his life and at the end. And that really, for me, is an incredible accelerant of my own life and learning. So I'll share my list of books here in the video. I'd love to hear what books you're planning to read in 2021, because I do think biographies are an accelerant of our life experience. So again, it's Conor. Thank you very much for being part of this community. Your comments, your emails, your engagement, your questions help me, inspire me, help put order into this mind. So thank you for being part of this, and I look forward to sharing more videos with you as we move through 2021. Have a great one.